News now begin by this hour in Nigeria, where strong indications suggest the president, Bola Tinubu, is set to reshuffle his cabinet in a bid to remove underperforming ministers. Sources in the presidency who pleaded anonymity revealed that some ministers would be dismissed, while others would be reassigned to other ministries for improved effectiveness. The president has been under mounting pressure from within his party, the All Progressives Congress (APC), as well as external sources to dismiss some ministers who have been perceived as inactive. The president has made it clear that any minister or aide who fails to meet expectations will be removed from office. This comes just days after Tinubu replaced the directors general of the National Intelligence Agency and the Department of State Services following their resignations. And a worsening fuel scarcity is gripping Nigeria as millions of citizens endure skyrocketing prices and severe shortages of petrol. The ongoing crisis, which has persisted intermittently for weeks, has escalated with long queues reappearing at filling stations nationwide. Reports from major cities like Lagos, Abuja reveal that many filling stations have run out of petrol, while others are selling at exorbitant prices, further compounding the crisis. This has led to a sharp increase in transportation fares, adding to the hardship faced by commuters. Frustrated motorists and commuters have voiced their anger and disappointment over the government's failure to resolve the lingering fuel shortage. As the situation deteriorates, citizens are urging the government to take immediate and decisive action to alleviate the scarcity and provide much-needed relief to the public. And still on the fuel situation, residents of Umuahia have expressed frustrations over government inaction concerning the escalating cost of petrol at filling stations. The price of petrol has soared from 900 naira a week ago to over 1,000 naira today at the privately owned fuel stations in Umuahia. Only the NNPCL stations still sell at 595 naira per liter, resulting in very lengthy queues at their stations even when they are not selling. Apologize for that video there. We'll bring you more in subsequent bulletins. Now, in Asaba Delta State capital, South Nigeria, filling stations have remained crowded in major mega fuel stations as others have shorter queues with high prices. Although a number of filling stations were still short, while some continue to sell for as much as between 850 naira and 950 naira per liter. There had been biting scarcity of premium motor spirit, PMS, also known as petrol, across the country for over a month, with the product selling for over 1,000 naira in some places before today. And now to give us an update on the current fuel situation, we're joined by News Central's correspondent Agbalani Omoni, who joins us live here in Lagos. Ni, thank you so much for joining us. Where are you at the moment? And from looking at you from where you're standing, I can see the queue is quite long.
Thank you, Judith. It's been over 3 weeks, and despite assurances from the national oil company in Nigeria telling people that we're just having distribution issues and it will be sorted soon, we've still seen that most petrol stations do not still have the product. And the few ones that even have the product are not, they have their premises crowded with motorcycles, tricycles, users, and people holding jerrycan-bearing buyers, and people who have actually even had to disconnect the tank of their generator set just to come here to purchase the product, which is petrol. Currently, we are in Lagos. This is Ogba area, and this is one of the filling stations that is selling. And you've seen, from the few people we've spoken to earlier, they've come from various local governments, 6, 7 local government far away from here just to get to this place to get petrol. And one of the reasons why they haven't chosen this particular station is because it sells for, I wouldn't say as low, but for a price of 618 naira, as against what some independent fuel stations are selling, which goes almost to 900 or even 1,000 naira. Currently, if you look to my right, you will see that they are trying to maintain a one-lane policy, but it's still impeding traffic. This place is usually congested during the day and even at night, depending on how long the space station is selling for. And these are the conditions they keep witnessing over and over again. The frustration is real for these people. They are asking when it will end. The assurances keep coming from the NNPC that the last time it spoke anyways, but nothing concrete has been done. And these people have to live their everyday life looking for petrol just to commute.
I've asked this question many times, and I'm going to ask again. Maybe you might humor me. And since you started driving and since you started going out to buy fuel, how many times or how many hours have you spent in your life just queuing up and trying to either look for fuel, the availability of the fuel, or actually pay for an exorbitant price? Just when one puts that in context, it's dire, the situation. But with the queues, what is the traffic looking like?
Just behind me here, you can see a perfect example of what it looks like. Currently, at this fuel station, they are maintaining a one-lane policy. That is, the cars are just parked at one particular lane and they're driving into the fuel station. But because of the bottleneck on this particular road, which is supposed to take about two vehicles and maybe a motorcycle on the side for easy flow of traffic, everyone now has the bottle lane to manage the one lane that is now available to motorists, which is a big issue. Noting that when it's quite early on Sunday, yeah, but once the churches start closing, which is around 12, around 1, then you will see this place being more congested because now you have a lot of vehicular activities and everyone wants to move at the same time. Knowing how impatient most people can be when they're trying to get to wherever they want to go to or get to their destination, this is going to cause heavy traffic. And this is not the only spot that causes traffic across Lagos due to this fuel scarcity. Even across Iyanoworo that we saw earlier today, that place is also blocked up, which is even an expressway, a lane that's supposed to take about, it's a dual lane that's supposed to take about 4 vehicles per lane. And till now, you just see that the traffic there is excruciating. People are frustrated because why spend 3 hours or 4 hours to purchase or get the petrol at maybe an high price, then you now have to burn the petrol in traffic. It's almost like a lose-lose situation. There's no win-win for Nigerians in this case.
It's sad indeed. Many thanks for doing this with us. We will definitely come back to you for more. But I must ask, do you know how much they are selling with the queue? Were you able to talk to any motorists? How much are they selling?
Yes, at this particular fuel station, they sell for 618 naira per liter. The black market sells for around 1,000 to 1,003 per liter. So, of course, if you're buying from the black market, which most people that I've seen here who cannot wait have tried purchasing, you're paying for the labor. I'll put it that way, the labor and the stress the person used in purchasing the fuel from this station in the first place, with the original price, which is about 618, if I'm not mistaken, at this particular station. But as I said earlier, independent stations are selling for as high as 900 naira, and even we're hearing information that outside Lagos sells even higher for almost 1,000 naira. But for now, even the boss that took me yesterday, Judith, I can testify why we got stranded. We had to purchase the black market. Now, the challenge with the black market is you do not even know it. You don't know if it's adulterated petrol. You don't know what content it is. You don't even know if they just pour something inside and just give it some sort of coloring. But for the fact that you see them in front of a filling station and you believe that, oh, they got this petrol from here, you feel it's credible and everybody just wants to move on. That's the situation now.
And for a city like ours, us being in the commercial hub of Nigeria, Lagos State, where it has all of the major, if not all of the major multinationals and industries and different sector. I wonder what would that be like when it comes to the running of businesses, small businesses. I mean, even our outfit like this that needs 24-hour power to fuel, its services. I wonder what that would be like, for Nigerians and just Lagosians in general, especially Lagosians.
It's it it's it's quite concerning, especially for small-scale businesses. And I've spoken to quite a few of them here that I met here. Most of them rely on that petrol to actually run to actually get power supply in their places, because they are not on, with the electricity tariff sectioning right now. There's the band A, the band B, the band C. Most of them are on band A or band B, but they can't even afford that power credit, to recharge that power credit. So this is what they rely on. This is what they use to substitute for the power. And even with that, they can't get it because they can't bring their generator set to this place. So what they do is either come with a jerry can, which is very, very rare. As you can see just behind me here, you see some people with jerry cans moving right now. They've tried getting fuel here, and you can see it's a demanding task. It's almost like impossible. So sometimes they say, oh, they are no more selling to jerrycan buyers, or they say that they are no more, they are only selling to motorcycles at this time. Now, for those small-scale businesses, it is pretty difficult to get fuel. Some of them they came here with the tank of the generator set, yet they can't get fuels, which means that if this is weekend, Sunday, by Monday, they can't get fuel, their operations will be grounded, activities will be grounded, and they will be at loss because they cannot run their businesses comfortably. These are more the challenges they've had to face day in, day out. Tomorrow is Monday. It's going to be a major business day. And if the traffic situation is like this, if the fuel situation is like this, as at Sunday, then I wonder what will happen tomorrow, which is the first business day of the week.
And also the first business day of the quarter. What a way to usher in a new month and a new quarter for the year 2024. I should say happy new month to you, Igbalani Omoni, for this report. And also thank you for doing this with us. We appreciate you for coming on. We'll go on a short break, and we come back. We'll continue with our coverage. Stay with us. Still on the lingering fuel shortages and the hike in prices of fuel, also petrol. We're now joined to get better perspective on the matter, and that's the National Publicity Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, and that's Ukadike Chinedu. You're welcome to the program, Mr. Ukadike Chinedu. We appreciate you for doing this with us. I mean, let's get started very quickly. The current situation regarding fuel supply and distribution in Nigeria, what exactly is going on? What are the factors that are driving the scarcity and just the slowness or the speed or the lag of it in fuel supply?
Yeah, thank you. That's an issue that has been lingering for some weeks now. And it brought down on logistics problem, importation problem, road transportation, and we're not producing petroleum products here. So everything, we're sourcing petroleum products from outside the country. So it depends whenever the vessels arrive. Whatever hiccups the vessel encounter on the way, it will also definitely affect our local petroleum refined products supply. So Nigeria is dependent on sourcing petroleum products from outside the country. We have crude oil here. We export the crude oil to neighboring countries, foreign countries. They will refine the petroleum products Those petroleum products will be brought back here in Nigeria as AGO and PMS and DPK. All these products are all being imported to this country. And all the factors that leads to the importation definitely necessitate either that there is an issue in the vessel, either there is an issue in currency exchange, either there is an issue between the refineries, either they are doing turnaround maintenance, any little issue at all, definitely will truncate supply of petroleum products in this country. You all know that our 4 refineries are not.
Right. Now, yes, I can hear you. Now, I mean, IPMAN, we've said, how is IPMAN working to address the fuel shortages? What are the measures that you are taking to ensure a steady flow or steady supply of petrol to filling stations? Very quickly, because we're almost out of time.
Well, independent marketers, we are not dependent in terms of sourcing petroleum products. We can only get petroleum products until NNPCL allocates petroleum products to us. And for some time now, the portal of NNPCL has been shut down. We can no longer allocate petroleum products. But recently, the NNPCL have imported petroleum products into the country, and distribution have started. I'm aware that there are some vessels that have lopsided in Port Harcourt, especially in OVH, and Warri, and also in Lagos. I think the vessel will have product now. And with the independent marketer, the national president has mandated that all the independent marketers should continue to render services and ensure that if the security is good, we can be able to give services for at least for 24 hours. While we don't have good security, we should ensure that our stations open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. so that these sufferings that Nigerians are facing this period of time will be eradicated. But the most important thing is that once this product is being imported into this country, we are of opinion that as the major stakeholders and those who have 80% of the distribution outlets, our stations are scattered in the nooks and crannies of this country. We have expected that these products should be allocated to independent marketers directly. Don't need to pass through the department members or pass through NNPCL. This is bottleneck. It's making the independent marketers dependable now.
All right.
So, and that is why this long chain of distribution brings in profiteering. It also brings in scarcity. Because by the time this will receive, they will not say their price. The independent marketer will wait. If they like, they open to the independent marketer to sell. If they like what the reporter was saying, some filling stations they will close. They now do selective opening to marketers and the rest of them, or to commuters. So now the independent marketers, if the federal government will allocate this petroleum product to us, we can be able to see how we can be able to fastly and quickly dispense this product, because our filling stations are scattered on the disadvantage of this country.
All right.
There is no place in this country you will not see an independent marketer.
All right. Now, I'm being informed that we're joined live by our correspondent who is in South Nigeria there, Austin Azu. Austin, many thanks for joining us if you can hear me. Where are you at the moment, and you can give us a bit of a situational report there? Austin, can you hear me? All right, we'll try to establish connection with Austin Azu there to give us some situation reports where he's at South Nigeria. Well, back to you, Mr. Ukadike Chinedu. I mean, collaboration is somewhat of a solution, right? And you just said that, you know, some of these filling stations, they sometimes close, selective hours for opening, they select who to sell and who not to sell to. But how can IPMAN, you know, collaborate with other stakeholders, including the NNPCL and government agencies, to resolve the fuel shortage once and for all?
Well, the president of IPMAN, Elijah Megendi, in our last discussion, we have some expatriates that visited us. Also told us that he had a very good warming meeting with the NNPCL and the NNDPR. And because IPMAN and we are one, there is peace now in IPMAN, there is no faction in IPMAN. And we are open to collaboration. The Nigerian Civil Defense, we are working with them. They also have agreed, we have signed an agreement with them. They also have agreed to be giving us their armament to protect our facilities, to ensure that our stations are open. The Nigerian police, the 17. The Nupeng also, they are ready to work even on Sundays to ensure that the national president have secured all this collaboration. So even on holidays, they are also, the tanker drivers, they are ready to work to make sure that we can fastly distribute this product. But the problem we're also facing is that most of these things we are talking about now, the DAPMA members and MOMA members who own tank farms, their tank farms are located in the coastal area of this country. And once a vessel comes in, the daughter vessel will bring it to those coastal area. Then some of our trucks will travel 500 and something kilometers to either to Warri or to Apapa or to Port Harcourt to be able to get these products. And you know it's a huge cost of investment. This is a product we normally buy with 8.30 million. Now we're buying it with close to 30 million, 40 million. So it becomes very, very difficult for an independent marketer to allow his trucks on this road for like 2 weeks. Bad roads, some of the roads are bad. I'm also appealing to the federal government to see what I can do some of the, because this is rainy season. We're losing our investment just because of bad roads. And there's no bad roads. Some of these trucks are loaded in Apapa. Within 3 days, they might be in their destination in Bruno. And if the pipelines are good too, this is the kind of collaborations we want from government. A kind of repair the pipelines. If the pipelines are good, those products that are being taken from Port can be pumped through the system too. That's the pipeline. So even up to Yola, because there are some substations in Makodi, there are some substations in Aba, there are some substations in Enugu that can be able to speedily take these petroleum products from one destination to another. So we're driving the big trucks on the road, spoiling the roads, causing road accidents and the wear and tear of these vehicles. The maintenance costs of these vehicles are very, very high. Dollar rate is high. Most of the parts we also import it, and once we import it, most of them are not genuine parts. So you find out that we are almost running a loss in this business.
All right. Now, I understand that Austin is back on. Austin, as you are correspondent, Austin, good day and well done. First of all, where are you at the moment? And give us some situation update there.
First and foremost, I'm in Asaba, Delta State capital, and behind me you can see the long queues here at the NNPC filling station. From the stretch of the entrance, you can see the long vehicles trying to gain entrance into the NNPC filling station. And just by my immediate left, you can see the long queue that stretched through the expressway. So obviously, a lot of persons have been on the standby who have been waiting for their turn to gain entrance into the filling stations. But however, earlier on, we went around some of the major filling stations within the state capital here. Mr. Chooks, all the places we went to, we saw the prices varies from one place to another. We saw that the pump price varies from one particular filling station. Some persons are selling at the rate of 900, while some are selling at the rate of 850, so on and so forth. But here at the NNPC, we saw that they are selling at the cost of 591 naira. But meanwhile, we have one of them who is standing by here to talk to us, to share his experience with us. Mr. Chooks. Mr. Chooks, let's meet to tell us your name and tell us the situation.
The situation, good afternoon, Nigerians. The situation is that here in Asaba, the NNPC is selling 591, and we are finding it difficult to buy fuel for other stations. apart from NNPC. That's the only filling station in Asaba who can rescue us by the normal price. Other people are selling 900, 950, 800, 850. So we can't afford to buy the fuel. So we have to go and queue at filling station at NNPC Asaba. Thank you very much.
All right, we have another person who will give us another perspective. Please tell us your name and how you are feeling. How long have you been on the queue?
Okay, I'm Onyelu Kachuku. I've been on the queue for about 4 hours now. Just waiting to see if I can get fuel at a reasonable price, different from what is being sold outside of this environment, which is 950, 900. So that's just the reason I've been on the queue since morning, waiting for my turn, believing that I'll be successful. All right. I don't know if that answers the question.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. From what they have said so far, they have been on the queue, and we have other people who have been on the queue as well. But however, we spoke to some persons earlier on, and they told us that some of them were here yesterday, and not only that, they came back this morning for them to get, the fare this morning. So the long queue still remains at the mega filling stations, unlike what you have in other independent marketers who probably you will just go there and get your fare and go out, because meanwhile, but most of these filling stations, they are selling at the rate of 850 to 1,100 naira, depends on the filling stations that you can find yourself.
All right. Well, Austin, many thanks for doing this with us. We appreciate you for that update there. We'll definitely come back to you in subsequent bulletins. But in the meantime, let me switch gears now back to Mr. Okwadike Chinedu, who is the National Publicity Secretary for IPMAN. You've heard from our correspondent there, Austin Azu, in Delta, the capital, Asaba there. You also heard from motorists as well, buying fuel from independent marketers at their filling stations from 800 to 1,100 naira. A huge difference from the stipulated price that NNPCL is selling. Why is that?
Okay. What you are seeing in Asaba is what we call price disparity. And that price disparity depends on the source. The independent marketers were no longer importing. Most of our marketers who try to import this petroleum product, when Mr. President announced the removal of subsidy, could not be able to go back because of forex. And it's very, very difficult to get forex from the parallel market. And by the time you do your semantics or your arithmetics and be able to gather forex from the parallel market and import this petroleum product, by the time you want to repatriate that to your those naira to dollar, it becomes another issue. You cannot even be able to recover your investment. Talk of going back to go and import petroleum product. So it's only the NNPCL that has the magic to be able to do this kind of bring in petroleum product. So everybody, virtually everybody, is believing in NNPCL, waiting for NNPCL to allocate petroleum product to us. And NNPCL is also a company like independent marketers. So they buy from trading too. Those products are given to them from NNPC Trading Limited, who has the responsibility to have this product, get this vessel, and be able to distribute it to some DAPMAN members, some MONMAN members, and all the rest of them to NNPCL too. So independent marketers, we are not even getting our petroleum product being allocated to us. We only go to NNPCL and beg until they will be able to freeze. Once it's sneezed, then we can now be able to get petroleum product. We'll go to DAPMAN members, we'll go to MOMAN members. Some of these price disparity depends on what the MOMAN members and DAPMAN members are selling to us. We can't just shut our filling stations and wait till the kingdom come. No. NNPCL have not supplied us for some few weeks. Now, recently they have not started supplying us. And once there is adequate products, competition sets in. With the independent marketers, when product was around 500, we are selling lesser than NNPCL because it's adequate. So the problem of this price disparity, it depends on the source. If DAPMA members are selling product to 780 naira, we also have to build in our capital, we also have to build in our transportation, after building in our transportation, we also have to build in our service charges and all the rest of them, and cost of fund. By the time you finish, you cannot even find out that we're not even making money at all. We're just trying to remain in business so that our business will not be shut out.
All right.
Because we cannot allocate, we cannot get this petroleum product allocated to independent marketers. That's the problem we are facing. If we have like an NPC, there's no way you can place the horse before the cart. We're all in this business should remain open for everybody to compete. Whatever that is being given to NPC to get petroleum product, so also should be given to independent marketers, so that the competition will be tight.
Well, I must say thank you, Mr. Ukadike Chinedu, for this conversation that we've had. We do hope that all stakeholders involved in this come together and collaborate to put an end to this queue on unending queues at filling stations nationwide. Once again, many thanks for doing this with us.
Thank you.
Away from the fuel scarcity now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has vowed to prevent any takeover of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) structure in Rivers State. The former Rivers State governor warned of potential political crisis in any state governed by a PDP leader who attempts to meddle in the party's affairs in Rivers State. PDP governors who recently met in Taraba State on August 23rd discussed the ongoing crisis within the party in Rivers and expressed their support for Governor Siminalayi Fubara. In a communique read by PDP Governors Forum Chairman and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, the governors called for a review of the party Congress results to reinstate Fubara's leadership in the state. Speaking during the PDP State Congress in Port Harcourt on Saturday, Wike urged the governors to avoid interfering in Rivers State party matters. Hope is rising for victims of the Dosumu market fire as the Lagos State government steps in with financial aid. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu visited the scene of the devastating blaze, presenting checks to affected traders and promising more support. While business owners are relieved, they are also appealing for help to rebuild their shattered stalls. News Central Adeshawa Odushoga reports.
In a bid to alleviate the suffering of business owners affected by the devastating fire that ravaged Dosumu Market in April, the Lagos State government has provided financial compensation to the victims. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu visited the site of the fire and presented checks to some of the affected traders.
Ẹ jókòó, wọ́n ti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ ní wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́ ọmọ máa porúkọ yín ẹ̀dẹ̀ wa máa sign fún owó yín bank draft ni ẹ bá ti mú dé bank ó ti dowó so kò sí risk kankan rárá ẹ̀dẹ̀ wa máa sign fún ọ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ lé ni o Ọlọ́run á dúró tì yín o ẹ ṣé gan.
Speaking on behalf of the state, Lagos Commissioner for Special Duties, Gbenga Yorinde, assured the beneficiaries that the government will continue to engage with them to ensure the funds are used effectively.
It's not going to be all engagements. And after this, we are still going to have further engagement with the recipients and then knowing fully well how they have judiciously used whatever they have been given out to them.
The beneficiaries and market leaders expressed their gratitude to the state government for the support. However, they also appealed for assistance in renovating the affected buildings to restore normalcy to the market.
We wrote to the governor and immediately he listened and allowed us continue our market. In fact, we don't know how to thank him on that alone, because the market that this thing cover, the closure of market, is more than 9 markets.
Dosumu Market, a vital hub of commercial activities, has been struggling to recover from the fire that destroyed goods and properties worth millions of naira. The compensation is a welcome relief to the business owners who have been working to rebuild their livelihoods. As the beneficiaries look forward to rebuilding their businesses, they hope for continued government support to revive the market to its former glory. In Lagos, for News Central, I am Adeshawa Dushoga.
A former Miss South Africa contestant, previously at the center of a nationality controversy, has been crowned Miss Universe Nigeria. Chidima Adesina emerged victorious in the thrilling finale of the Miss Universe Nigeria 2024 pageant held at the Eko Convention Center in Lagos on Saturday. The event featured 25 contestants from across the country, each championing social causes such as women's empowerment, mental health, and environmental sustainability. Adesina's triumph follows a tumultuous experience in the Miss South Africa pageant, where she faced criticism due to her Nigerian heritage. Speaking after her win, Silverbird Group President Guy Mori-Bruce announced that the dark-skinned beauty will represent Nigeria at the Miss Universe 2024 pageant in Mexico. Along with the crown, she will receive a cash prize of 10 million naira. In East Africa, a planned strike by staff at Kenya's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport has been delayed once again, this time by a week following an earlier two-week postponement in August. The Kenya Aviation Workers Union announced the latest delay on Saturday. Around 10,000 union members had initially planned to strike on August 19th in protest of the Kenyan government's proposed investment deal with India's Adani Group to expand and operate the airport. The strike was first pushed to September 2nd to allow for negotiations and has now been postponed for another 7 days. In a statement, the union said the delay would give its members time to review the proposals and make formal demands to the government. The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed has welcomed the arrival of food aid in Sudan, but emphasized that it remains insufficient. Now, during her visit to the Adrian border crossing in Chad, she witnessed the passage of a humanitarian convoy and highlighted the urgent need for more support. Amina stated that the UN is currently able to fund only 25 to 30% of the required aid and urged governments to fulfill their commitments to help those in need. She also called for an immediate resolution to the ongoing conflict in Sudan. Recent negotiations in Geneva between the warring parties saw little progress toward ending the fighting, though they did agree to allow humanitarian aid to pass through two key border points.
Have suffered for a long time. There are many crises in the world, and we hear about the atrocities, we hear about the hunger, and today an additional border, an important border, has been opened in the last week, and we are seeing aid going through to try to reach those people. They are in many camps, they are in many towns, and we will try to see how we get through. We work with local partners, so these are Sudanese people, and we hope that we can get this aid to where it's needed. You will have heard what the Secretary General has to say. What is important right now is humanitarian access. We also have a big challenge of polio and the vaccinations that need to be had. There are many issues in Gaza on multiple tracks. What we are saying is that we need that two-state plan, that process put forward and agreed to.
Israel's military announced on Sunday the discovery of 6 dead hostages in the Gaza tunnel as medics in the Palestinian territory prepare for pauses in fighting to carry out a polio vaccination drive. According to a military statement, the hostages' remains were recovered on Saturday from an underground tunnel in the Rafah area and have been formally identified in Israel. The victims were named as Harsh Goldberg Poland, a dual U.S.-Israeli national, Kamel Gat, Eden Yarashima, Alexander Labonov, and a Russian-Israeli, Armand Sarusi, and Master Sergeant Ori Danino. The 6 were among the 251 hostages taken during the Hamas October 7th attack on southern Israel, which sparked the ongoing war. Currently, 97 hostages remain captive in Gaza, including 33 whom the Israeli army has declared dead.
לפני מספר שעות התקנו את המשפחות כי גופות יקיריהן הותרו על ידי כוח צה"ל במנהרה תת-קרקעית ברפיח. על פי הערכה הראשונית העומדת ברשותנו, הם נרצחו באכזריות על ידי מחבלי חמאס זמן קצר לפני שהגענו אליהם.
In the meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to settle the score with Hamas after the military recovered the bodies of 6 hostages from a tunnel in Gaza. Netanyahu also accused Hamas of being responsible for a deadly shooting attack earlier on Sunday near Hebron in the occupied West Bank. According to police, 3 officers, 2 men and 1 woman were killed in the early morning attack near the Tariq Kwamiya checkpoint close to the Hebron. While Hamas has not officially claimed responsibility for the West Bank attack, it described the incident as a heroic operation by the resistance in a statement.
מי שרוצה החטופים לא רוצה עסקה. אנחנו נלחמים בכל החזיתות, באויב אכזר שרוצה לרצוח את כולנו. רק הבוקר הוא רצח 3 שוטרים בחברון. העובדה שהחמאס ממשיך לבצע זוועות כמו אלה שביצע ב7 באוקטובר, מחייבת אותנו לעשות הכל כדי שהוא לא יוכל לבצע את הזוועות הללו שוב. לא ננוח ולא נשקוט. אנחנו נרדוף אתכם, אנחנו נשיג אתכם, ואנחנו נבוא איתכם חשבון.
Africa's top-ranked and the world's number 2 player, Nigeria's Eniola Mariam Bolaji, has qualified for the semi-finals of the women's SL3 para-badminton event at the Paris 2024 Paralympics. Bolaji defeated India's Mandeep Kaur 2-0, 21-8, 21-9 in the quarterfinals. Bolaji's victory means she is the first African to qualify for the semi-finals of the para-badminton event, as the stage is now set for an exciting semi-final match against China's Zhong Zhangxing. Now, Bolaji is now poised to make a strong impact in Paris, further solidifying her status as one of the premier athletes in her category. US-based coach Caesar Adam, who has Nigerian heritage, has been appointed as the assistant coach of Nigeria's under-18 boys team ahead of the under-18 Afro-Basket Championship in South Africa starting on September 2nd. The 12-nation tournament will be staged in Pretoria, South Africa from September 2nd to the 14th. Teams were divided into 3 groups of 4 teams each, and the tournament hosts were drawn in Group C alongside Rwanda, Morocco and Zambia. FIBA Africa attributed wildcards to Cote d'Ivoire and Rwanda to complete the 12-team lineup. The finalists of the FIBA Under-18 Afro-Basket 2024 will represent Africa at next year's FIBA Under-19 Basketball World Cup in Switzerland. Nigeria will open play on Tuesday, September 3rd against Egypt. And that's all at this time. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. President Tinubu's cabinet is set for major overhaul. Underperforming ministers are to face the axe. Nigeria's grown as petrol prices rise. Government urged to take immediate action.